Speaking of, see you next week.
Yeah.
The SHeBelieves Cup is going on right now,
Yes,
She
it
believes.
is.
and the U.S. women's national team came out with a big W.
Mallory
Little bit of
Swanson.
context. She Believes Cup.
Give the context, bro.
So the She Believes Cup is an invitational international tournament. It only features
4 teams, right?
4 teams right now. Brazil, Japan, USA, and Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And we are in a Women's World Cup year. So this is, I feel like for those teams at least, it's are they all in a World Cup, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Good. It's
so
good prep. It's good prep.
Definitely good prep.
Warm up.
Especially if there's no injuries, knock on wood,
God willing.
then yeah, it's definitely good prep for them. And plus,
They
it's just
need
an
it, though.
opportunity to see women play more and more, which
Yeah.
can only be a good thing for exposure and things
Yeah,
like that.
for
So
sure.
For
yeah.
some additional context, yeah, like this sort of tournament might not exist on the men's side, but the women's side really is trying to grow. So it is important that they do these sort of invitational tournaments and bring some of the best national teams in the world.
do we know why
Yeah.
it's only 4?
Just
Because you
quickness.
can't put on a full ass tournament when you have the European competitions going on right now. NWSL is about to start, so I think they're trying to bring a quick little tourney with some of the best teams in the world. But if you can't have like a 16-team tournament, it's not like a major trophy, but it's a little something to give the fans what they want and also just help grow the
I
sport.
think
So,
one thing to highlight real
yeah.
quick. My fault. I know
No,
you
go
got
ahead,
a
go
point, but anytime counts when the international team could get together. Like
Yeah.
we're used to the big tournaments, we're used to the big spectacular events. Them boys have 2 weeks to, and shorties, they only got 2 weeks
Yeah.
to fix up. So anytime they have a time to regroup, it's very important.
Yeah.
for sure.
Can I ask how you guys feel from a marketing perspective about about the fact that it's called the She Believes Cup?
I need to know more about the background, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know this backstory.
Not knowing it.
You're
a
saying
fan,
to the
you see that
title?
It reads She Believes Cup. How do you feel?
Interested.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
It feels a little artificial.
Really?
Like they could have just named it like the like international invitational. Like there's no men's cup that are like we progress.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm
That's
saying?
my point.
That's not a fair comparison.
It's not a
bro.
fair comparison,
at
but
all.
I mean, if we're gonna talk about how we want the women's game to like grow
Exactly.
naturally and grow
Exactly.
for what it like
For what it is.
for what it is, rather than
And the perception.
Like stop,
Yeah.
go support this, go support
yeah,
that.
it shouldn't be like
Fuck
a
it, watch it because it's cool because you want to watch the sport.
yeah.
Why do you have to call it She Believes? Call it what it is so people just regard women's soccer as just soccer.
Amen.
Stop separating.
Oh.
That's
I
just my
agree,
take.
but I don't know if the title takes away that much. I honestly
just
would like to hear a
perception,
women's
that's all.
perspective on it.
For
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, but
You know what
it's-
I'm saying?
it's
I don't even know
all-
if I can really comment like
it's
that.
very subconscious too because we
But at the same-
know
Go ahead.
what the audience is.
Exactly.
We can look it up
Mostly-
too. I'm gonna look it up right now.
One
Yeah,
thing
look it
that I know for a fact is
Let's see what they say.
like unfortunately, women's football isn't gonna grow because of its female audience. It's still gonna depend on
Interesting.
the male audience for it to really be
That's a long
something
convo.
because
That's not
foot-
true.
Time.
Because
Yeah,
I think
true.
football
It's not
itself,
true at
I
all.
think it's the same thing as the
not true.
WNBA.
Next
You're
pod,
you're,
bro.
you're never gonna see more women in the stands of a WNBA game than men.
I don't know if that's true.
Bro,
I will say
have
one
to
thing.
That's
look it
not
up.
true.
I don't know if you have time.
That's
for
not
this.
It's a lot.
true.
It's along with it, but I think
Can I speak real quick though?
no,
Go
hold
ahead,
up.
yes.
Wait.
After you.
Yeah,
I'm
just
saying.
one sec. But I was gonna say to that point, just that, and we can get more into it into the next pod.
Yes.
Yes, please.
But we, if let's say that's true, that the male audience in either women's or men's football is gonna be the one
Dominant.
pushing the sport forward,
Yeah.
then I think that you have to take into consideration that if you're gonna market it, whether that's a title, whether how you promote it, jersey, how the jerseys look, all of that, you have to take into consideration the main audience that's gonna make the sport popular. That's again, y'all don't have to agree, but let's say if that is the case,
I know what you're saying.
you have to take that into
I
consideration.
know what you're saying.
And in the future, if women become the bigger audience for women's football,
Okay.
then we could have a different conversation.
Okay.
But right now, it doesn't seem to be mostly female in the audience.
It's interesting.
of
It's
women's
interesting.
games.
Yeah.
Can I
I
add?
think it could be.
Can I add a couple
It's
things?
I'm
interesting.
saying right now.
Can I add
No,
two
but I'm
things real
saying
quick?
if you watch a women's like especially NWSL, like it's mostly like women and young girls.
Two things real
Like,
quick.
actually, if you go, bro, we've been to Mag.
So I will.
yeah,
so I will say,
I've been with y'all. Yeah,
I will say it's an interesting one because this conversation too obviously has a lot of nuances. We have had those experiences. So Kendrick, you're not lying. That's actually a
Yeah.
valid experience we've had.
Yeah.
I've also have had experiences where I've even invited, friends of mine to the matches and women actually be like, I'm not interested in that shit.
for sure.
But are they soccer fans?
No.
Yeah.
So,
This
I
is a-
mean,
this is a combo for
No,
this.
no,
if
no,
I
no,
invite
no.
my
There's a lot of
homeboy,
webs.
if I
There's
invite
a
my
lot of
homeboy to
webs.
the New York City FC game,
Yeah.
who doesn't care about soccer, he's not going either.
No, of course, but I mean, at the same time, too, like other sports that they don't give a shit about, they pulling up to.
True,
That's fair.
but that's also stadium shit. Like Madison Square
That's part
Garden
of
is
it.
Madison
That's
Square. No,
part
that's
of
facts, that's
everything.
facts, that's
Like
facts.
that actually
And
adds.
that's
But
why I
two
brought up the
things.
What
point.
we gonna say? What we
Two
gonna
things
say?
real quick.
What we
First
gonna
off,
say?
women are legitimately half the population, or 50.1%, or 49.8%. So if they all watched
That-
it,
Yeah,
you can't say the men's population is needed. That's mathematically not true. And then two, let me read a little bit about the She Believes history and why it's called this. So I'm just going this off of Wikipedia, which is considered a reliable source nowadays. Go ahead.
But right now, the men are the biggest, like are men
Audience.
the biggest football audience is comprised
Yeah, but I'm
of
saying
men,
if
though.
the women decided to watch it, they don't need the men.
Gab, say what you were gonna
That's all I'm
say.
saying.
They don't need that in the future.
I'm just saying
what it is
mathematically.
right now.
Like legitimately,
Good
mathematically,
podcast.
women.
It's such a fucking good podcast.
I'm just
so
saying,
glad I
like,
do
women,
this for work.
mathematically,
so glad I do this
do not
podcast
need
for
men
work.
to
I'm
watch
so
the sport
glad.
to make money. They need more
Seb, you're sick.
numbers of people,
Seb, you're
period,
sick. As
which
well.
I
could come
agree.
from women.
No,
And I think
I
men should
agree.
support. I'm saying mathematically they don't need it. Ooh. Okay, can I actually read this?
Go
'Cause
ahead,
We're
go
going
ahead, go
like our time right now is
Go ahead. I will say though,
Awful.
I absolutely agree
Yeah,
that
yeah.
the women's
Oh
game
my
don't necessarily just need men.
yeah.
I just think that
No, they should.
right,
Men should
right
support
now
it.
that's what the audience is
Yeah,
mostly
yeah.
comprised of.
Yeah.
But I think overall, and for the game to progress,
Yeah,
also,
no.
I would like to see more women in the audience.
For sure. Well,
But, yeah,
of
go
course.
ahead.
I want more people. Period. Because they just need more people watching. For sure.
But go
All
ahead.
right,
though, yeah.
I'm gonna read. Give me like 4 or 5 sentences.
Don't listen to Eli. Don't
Before
let
I
that
read
nigga
this,
draw
y'all
you
should
up.
not be laughing because this
Go
is gonna
ahead.
look
Yeah,
insane.
for sure, for
I'm
sure.
not gonna lie.
Go ahead.
Everybody good?
Yeah.
Take it. No, it happens because this is a very funny podcast.
Give it another.
All right,
give
the
it
She
another-
Believes movement was inspired by the U.S. national team 2015 run-up to the World Cup. The movement is meant to encourage young women to achieve their dreams, regardless of whether or not they are tied to athletics. As part of regular society, She Believes, which to me sounds like its own organization, is dedicated to women's empowerment. This theme of empowerment has evolved into a bond between U.S. soccer and its fans. As the team has spread this message to communities across the country, U.S. Soccer serves as She Believes ambassadors. So She Believes sounds like it's its own organization.
Got you.
It's not just a phrase; it's its own
Okay, yeah,
organization
yeah,
for
yeah.
women's
If it's-
empowerment.
That's the name of the people hosting it. Makes sense.
You feel me? And it says U.S. Soccer serves as one of their ambassadors, launching a new program to unite and elevate nonprofits, women's sports organizations, and influencers with shared goal of positively impacting girls and women. There's also a She Believes Summit, which first took place virtually in 2021, which is a major component of the programming around the tournament itself. That has some notable speakers such as Abby Wambach, one of the greatest women's soccer players of all time.
So,
Sage Steele, who, if you know or don't know, is one of the top reporters at ESPN, very prominent woman there. Tiana Davidson, U.S. women's national team baller.
Man,
And some of the event program also features various speakers from women in STEM to professional
big up
athletes.
them.
For those who don't know STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So it's a lot bigger than just a little soccer tournament. Like, this is really a women's empowerment initiative, and they're attaching it to an invitational, which helps
Gotcha.
grow the sport because of visibility, seeing 4 of the best national teams in the world. So it's SHeBelieves Cup. They're partnering with an organization. It's not a phrase. It's a phrase that's been used for the nonprofit, but like that's to give some much more additional context.
To add on to
Yeah.
that, definitely even having that as the name, which there isn't any other tournament that I know of that's named similarly. It's a discussion point, educational as well, so
Yeah.
it creates good conversation.
we gotta give a shout out though to the U.S. Women's National Team
2-0.
2-0 against their northern neighbors in Canada.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miles Swanson for banging in 2 goals.
Bangers too. Look at them goals up.
Sexy-ass volley.
Yeah,
Shout out to Sanchez. She was getting off shots. Player from the Washington Spirit.
for sure.
Sanchez a baller.
And she
Bro.
fly. Look at her fits.
She was getting off shots. Like she has the pocket rocket.
Jeez.
I seen her score a free kick in a real life.
Yeah, bro. And then Brazil beat Japan. What 2-0?
1-0.
Marta,
1-0.
Marta
First
back,
touch or
right?
some shit, right?
Shout out to
Yeah.
Marta
Dabina.
back.
We saw Dabina play for
NC, right?
Courage. Yeah,
She's
So,
different.
Yeah, great games. Check it out.
Go US.
Where's it
Definitely
streaming?
Stay tuned.
HBO Max. Hey, first
Apple?
off, get the streaming service because they got the best shows and the best sports with women's soccer. HBO Max. Hey, sponsors.
Yeah.
All right.
She
For sure.
believes. We
Is it
believe.
time?
We
Sebastian,
We
it is
believe.
time.